You know that feeling when you wake up and just feel, well, a little less powerful than maybe the day before? Maybe getting out of bed feels like it takes a bit more effort, or, I don't know, even reaching for that first cup of coffee seems like it requires more oomph.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That gradual, almost sneaky loss of strength. We're diving deep into why that happens, especially as we get a bit more life experience under our belts.
What you're describing really hits home for so many adults as they age. It really points towards sarcopenia, that age-related muscle loss we often hear about.
Right.
And like you said, it's insidious, kind of creeps up on you. A slow, quiet process where just everyday things can start to feel, well, harder.
Absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a little surprising. A significant chunk of this muscle loss can actually happen overnight. Yeah, during the very time our bodies are supposed to be recovering and rebuilding. So our mission today is to really unpack how our routine before we go to sleep, specifically what we choose to eat, can be a powerful tool in fighting back against this.
That's right. Think of it this way. If we don't give our bodies the right fuel before bed, it might actually be forced to tap into our muscle tissue for energy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, putting us in a muscle breaking down state, a catabolic state. And considering how crucial our muscles are for, everything from balance and strength to just maintaining our independence as we age, this is something we really need to pay attention to.
Definitely.
Sarcopenia isn't just about feeling a bit weaker. It's linked to a higher risk of falls, fractures, and, well, a decrease in that freedom we all cherish. And it affects a huge number of people over 60.
But here's the empowering part, right? This isn't inevitable.
Not at all.
This deep dive is all about uncovering the specific nutrients and, frankly, delicious foods we can strategically enjoy before we drift off. We're talking about giving our bodies the essential building blocks they need to repair and even grow muscle while we sleep, maybe even reversing some of that loss.
That's the goal.
We've gone through a wealth of information, from nutritional science articles, expert discussions on senior health, to bring you the most effective and hopefully easy to implement strategies. Okay, so let's get right into it. Why is what we eat in those hours right before bed such a potential game changer for our muscles?
Well, what's fascinating here is this really intricate connection between our sleep and our metabolism.
Yeah.
While we sleep, our bodies aren't just, switched off.
Right, they're busy.
They're actively engaged in repair and regeneration. This is prime time for rebuilding damaged tissues, including those tiny tears in our muscles that happen just from daily activity. And importantly, our bodies release more of those muscle-building signals, things like growth hormone, during sleep. But this whole efficient repair operation, it depends heavily on having the necessary raw materials, the right nutrients circulating in our system.
So if we head to bed feeling empty, or maybe just had a snack that doesn't offer much in the way of muscle building stuff?
Exactly. If our last meal or snack didn't pack enough protein, our bodies still need amino acids to carry out these repairs. And unfortunately, one of the readily available sources it can turn to is our existing muscle tissue.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this shifts us into that catabolic state we mentioned, where we're breaking down more muscle than we're building. Think of it like trying to repair a wall but running out of bricks. You might have to start taking bricks from another part of the wall just to patch things up.
Which is exactly the opposite of what we want. We want our bodies to be in that anabolic state, actively building and repairing those muscle fibers while we're getting our rest.
Precisely. A pre-bedtime snack that's rich in protein provides that readily available supply of amino acids. It fuels the overnight repair and growth processes that naturally occur. It's like giving your body the bricks it needs before the construction crew shows up for their night shift.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people, especially as we get older, might be a bit hesitant about eating right before bed, worried about indigestion or putting on extra weight. What's the real story there?
That's a very valid concern, and it really highlights the point that it's all about what we're eating, not just when.
Right.
A heavy, rich meal right before lying down, that can definitely lead to digestive issues and potentially mess with our sleep. However, a small, carefully chosen pre-bedtime snack, one that's packed with the right nutrients, can actually be easily digested. It can even support better sleep and muscle recovery without necessarily contributing to weight gain. It's really about making smart choices.
Okay, so it's all about being strategic with our nighttime nibbles. Let's dive into those key nutrients then, the ones that act like the pit crew for our muscles while we're sound asleep.
Absolutely. Leading the charge, unsurprisingly, is protein.
The building block.
Exactly. It's the fundamental component our muscles are made of. Within protein, the essential amino acids are particularly important. These are the ones our bodies can't make on their own, so we have to get them from our diet.
Right.
And among these essential amino acids, leucine is a real standout. Leucine acts like a trigger, It specifically signals our muscles to start the process of protein synthesis, that rebuilding we've been talking about.
Okay, leucine is the key.
It's a major key. And interestingly, research suggests that as we age, our muscles might become a little less sensitive to this signal. So older adults might actually benefit from slightly higher amounts of high-quality, leucine-rich protein compared to younger folks to get the same muscle-building effect.
Huh, that's interesting. So more protein power needed, especially leucine, to get the repair machinery going while we sleep. What other nutritional allies do we have?
Okay, next up we have tryptophan. This is another essential amino acid, and it plays this fascinating dual role.
Tryptophan, like in turkey. Makes you sleepy.
Yeah, that's the common association. It's a bit more nuanced, though. It's a precursor to serotonin.
Ah, the mood chemical.
Exactly. Serotonin helps regulate our mood, contributes to feelings of calm. And serotonin, in turn, is involved in making melatonin, the hormone that governs our sleep-wake cycle.
Ah, okay.
So by getting enough tryptophan, we're indirectly supporting muscle recovery by promoting both good mood and restful sleep. And what's also neat is that consuming tryptophan with a little bit of carbohydrate can actually help it get into the brain more effectively.
That's a cool connection. So a bit of carb helps the tryptophan, which helps mood and sleep, which helps muscles.
Got it. What about those healthy fats we always hear about? Healthy fats, especially the monounsaturated kind, offer several benefits before bed. They provide a slow, steady release of energy,
Okay.
which can help prevent our bodies from dipping into muscle stores overnight. They also help us absorb certain vitamins, the fat-soluble ones, and can contribute to stabilizing blood sugar levels through the night, preventing those dips and spikes that can disrupt sleep and hinder muscle recovery.
Okay, so protein, tryptophan, healthy fats. Any other key vitamins or minerals we should focus on for nighttime muscle support?
Absolutely. We should definitely talk about magnesium. Think of magnesium as like the relaxation mineral for our muscles.
Ah, nice.
It plays a crucial role in muscle contraction and relaxation. It's involved in protein synthesis itself, and it's also been linked to improvements in sleep quality. Magnesium deficiencies have even been associated with reduced muscle strength, so it's really important to prioritize.
Magnesium, the unsung hero of muscle relaxation and repair. Makes total sense. What about vitamins? Any specific ones that shine for nighttime muscle health?
Yes, vitamin D is incredibly important. It plays a key role in muscle function, overall bone health, and even our coordination. And unfortunately, many older adults tend to have lower levels of vitamin D. So ensuring you get enough, including through diet, is vital for maintaining muscle strength.
Good point.
And let's not forget omega-3 fatty acids. These are well known for their powerful anti-inflammatory properties,
Right.
which can help our muscles recover after activity and also support healthy joints. That's crucial too.
So it sounds like a whole team of nutrients works together behind the scenes while we're sleeping, keeping our muscles strong and ready for the next day.
That's a great way to put it.
Now let's get to the really practical part. What are some specific, maybe even delicious foods packed with these muscle-loving nutrients? Things seniors can actually enjoy before bed.
Okay, let's start with eggs.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier, preparing them soft-boiled or poached is probably ideal for nighttime.
Why is that?
Easier to digest. They're a nutritional powerhouse, high-quality, complete protein, about 6 to 8 grams per egg, including a good hit of that crucial leucine.
Nice.
Plus, they're a decent source of vitamin D and vitamin B12, which helps with nerve function.
Eggs often seen as just for breakfast, but sounds like a great nighttime ally. I think I read something about leucine-rich evening meals being especially good for older adults.
That's right. One study actually showed a pretty significant increase, around 25% in overnight muscle building in older adults who had leucine-rich meals in the evening.
Wow.
And, to make this really relatable, think about Lean, a 68-year-old woman who shared that after adding just one poached egg to her evening routine, she noticed her legs felt much less wobbly in the mornings.
That's fantastic. Just one egg.
Yeah. The key, though, with eggs before bed is probably to avoid frying them or adding lots of heavy fats, as that can slow down digestion and maybe disrupt sleep.
Good tip. A simple poached egg, small change, potentially big impact. What's next on our list?
Next up is almond butter. And it's really important here to choose the natural kinds, the ones without added sugar.
Okay.
Almond butter is a great source of plant-based protein, maybe around 3 grams per tablespoon, along with a good dose of those healthy monounsaturated fats, about 8 grams per tablespoon. It also contains vitamin E, a potent antioxidant, and magnesium, which, as we discussed, is so important for muscle function and relaxation.
Yeah, the relaxation mineral.
Exactly. Plus, almond butter is rich in arginine, an amino acid that can help improve blood flow to the muscles.
So it's not just protein with almond butter, it's got magnesium, maybe better circulation too. That's interesting.
It is. Research has shown that older adults who regularly eat unsaturated fats from sources like nuts tend to have better muscle retention rates.
Makes sense.
And there's the story of Tom, a 75-year-old who found that adding a tablespoon of natural almond butter to his nightly routine seemed to help his muscles feel firmer, and he also said it improved his sleep quality.
Nice. How much did you have?
The recommendation is usually about 1 tablespoon, maybe spread on a small piece of whole grain toast, or perhaps mixed into some warm oatmeal.
Almond butter, tasty and convenient. What else have you got for us?
Okay, our third muscle-friendly food is tart cherry juice. Again, the key is 100% juice, no added sugar.
Why tart cherries specifically?
They're packed with these things called anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants. One study actually showed a significant reduction, around 34%, in muscle soreness in people who drank tart cherry juice for just 10 days.
34%, that's a lot.
It really is. And it also helps naturally boost levels of melatonin, promoting deeper, more restorative sleep, which, as we know, is prime time for muscle repair.
So it tackles muscle soreness and helps us sleep better. That sounds like a win-win for muscle recovery.
It really is a fantastic combination. Consider Robert, a 78-year-old who found that drinking tart cherry juice before bed significantly lessened his usual muscle aches and helped him sleep much more soundly.
How much do you need?
An 8-ounce serving about 30 minutes before you plan to sleep is generally recommended. You could dilute it with a little water if it's too intense, or even warm it up slightly if you prefer.
Tart cherry juice, a flavorful way to soothe muscles and improve sleep. Okay, what's number 4?
Number 4, pumpkin seeds. Specifically the natural unsalted kind.
Ah, pepitas.
Exactly. These little seeds are an incredible source of magnesium. Just 1 ounce gives you around 40% of your daily recommended intake.
Wow, 40%.
Yeah. They also contain zinc, important for cell repair, immunity, hormone balance, plus a good amount of plant-based protein, about 7 grams per ounce. And they even contain tryptophan, that precursor to serotonin and melatonin we talked about.
So much goodness packed into those tiny seeds.
Absolutely. There was a study linking higher magnesium intake directly to improved muscle strength in older adults, noting around a 30% improvement in lower limb strength.
Impressive.
And we also have Harold, a 72-year-old avid gardener who noticed a big improvement in the tightness he felt in his legs after he started adding more magnesium, mostly through pumpkin seeds.
That's great to hear. How many should you eat?
About 1 to 2 tablespoons, maybe an hour or so before bed. You can eat them raw or lightly toasted.
Pumpkin seeds, small but mighty for muscle support. What's next?
Our 5th food is cottage cheese. When choosing, try to opt for low-fat and low-sodium versions if you can.
Okay. What's special about cottage cheese?
It's rich in casein protein. Casein is a type of protein that digests slowly.
Ah, slow release.
Exactly. It provides a steady, sustained release of amino acids, including leucine, throughout the entire night. Plus, it has phosphorus and calcium, both vital for strong bones and healthy muscles.
Slow-release protein sounds perfect for nourishing muscles during those long sleep hours.
It really is ideal. One study showed a significant increase, about 27% in muscle strength, and a 20% increase in lean muscle mass in older adults who ate cottage cheese before bed, combined with some light exercise.
That's significant.
Definitely. And there's Martha, a 76-year-old, who reported feeling much more stable, less unsteady, after adding just a small bowl of low-fat cottage cheese to her bedtime routine.
How would you suggest eating it?
A great way is to mix maybe half a cup with some chia seeds and berries. Adds fiber, antioxidants, makes it tastier too.
Cottage cheese, a creamy, protein-packed option for overnight muscle building. And finally, what's our last recommendation?
Okay, finally we have something a bit more targeted. A whey protein smoothie with collagen peptides and added leucine.
Ah, the powerhouse combo.
Pretty much. Whey protein is known for being absorbed quickly, and it's very high in essential amino acids, especially leucine. One study showed an impressive 32% increase in muscle protein synthesis when people had 40 grams before bed.
Wow. And the collagen.
Collagen peptides are fantastic for supporting our tendons, ligaments, and joints, all crucial for overall muscle recovery and function. Studies show they can improve muscle strength and joint stability with regular intake, maybe around 15 grams daily.
Okay. And the extra leucine.
That just further boosts that muscle protein synthesis signal. The study showed it practically doubled the anabolic response when added to whey protein.
So it's like a triple action approach: fast protein, joint support, and an extra muscle building kick.
Precisely. A simple recipe would be, say, 1 scoop of good quality whey protein, around 30-40 1 scoop of collagen peptides, and maybe 3 grams of leucine powder. Mix it all with water or unsweetened almond milk about 45 minutes before you plan to sleep.
That sounds really effective, especially if someone's quite focused on rebuilding strength. Now, these are all fantastic food ideas, but what are some practical tips for seniors to actually incorporate these into their evening routines? Make it stick.
Yeah, good question. There are several simple but effective strategies. Firstly, if you're noticing signs of muscle loss, try to avoid going to bed completely empty.
Right.
Secondly, maybe be mindful of refined carbs like white bread, pastries, sugary stuff in the evening. Focus on simple preparations using natural whole ingredients like the ones we discussed.
Makes sense.
Maintaining a regular evening mealtime, maybe somewhere between 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., can also help digestion before you have that smaller pre-bed snack a couple of hours later. It's also really helpful for sleep quality in general to minimize screen time and bright lights in the hour or two before bed. That helps your body release melatonin naturally.
Good reminder.
And finally, probably the best advice is just to listen to your own body. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel. What works for one person might not be perfect for another.
Those are some really great, actionable tips. So just to quickly recap then, being strategic about what we eat before bed can be a real game changer for maintaining, even improving muscle health as we age, helping combat that natural loss and promote strength.
Absolutely. We've highlighted things like eggs, almond butter, tart cherry juice, pumpkin seeds, cottage cheese, and that powerful whey, collagen, and leucine combination is some excellent options.
And the really encouraging message here is that making these small, consistent changes to our evening routine can lead to really significant improvements in strength, energy levels, and overall independence.
Exactly. It's not about making huge, drastic changes overnight. It's more about finding ways to weave these nutrient-rich foods into your daily life in a way that feels sustainable and hopefully enjoyable for you.
So as you're winding down each evening, maybe take a moment to consider, which of these simple bedtime habits might you be able to weave into your routine to actively support your muscle health, your overall well-being? It's a chance to really view that time before sleep not just as rest, but as a valuable opportunity for your body to repair and get stronger. You've put in the effort throughout the day, right? And taking that extra bit of care for your body, especially as we gain more years, is truly a wonderful act of kindness towards your future self.